Hello and welcome to the first episode of Race Report with Bart Swings and myself, Felix Rijhnen. It's something we plan to do for a little while now, while we have no races. We thought the next best thing we can do. Oh, that wasn't great. The next best thing we could do is at least talk a little bit about the races we would normally be doing. And now I'm waiting for my co-host Bart Swings to join, and he should be with us in a minute. Let's wait for Swingsy. There he is. Hey Bart. Nice. Yeah, same for you. Same for you. Beautiful weather today, right? Nice. Cool. Yeah, I was also on my bike, and was also looking forward really to do this with you. Our first episode of Race Report. And why are we here today? So normally we would have been at some event, some inline race somewhere on the planet, either Berlin-Halfmarathon or Lagos, the event in Portugal, or Lima, the third option. So it wasn't really decided where we would have been going, but now unfortunately, due to the current situation, none of those three is happening. So we thought next best thing we can do is at least to talk a little bit about the events, and we choose the Berlin Half-Marathon. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Maybe I start with Lagos because I've actually participated there a couple of times. One time also with your brother, Big Marty. Shout out to him. A long-term teammate. Obviously from both of us. And Lagos, beautiful place. First of all, I know you really like to go there for training camps, same as me. And they also put on a great event. Sometimes there's a marathon included, sometimes a half marathon included, sometimes it's only the track event. But nevertheless, great facilities there, a really fast track. We raced also Europeans there a couple of years back. And the organizers always put on a great event with a lot of passion, and it really sucks for them and for all the skaters that it can't happen this year. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Actually, the only two races I've done so far were also in the Algarve region. So I was really fun. It was really fun. So basically, one half marathon, and the day before a shorter race like a 10K, and they were included in the bike race Volta ao Algarve. So I'm a huge cycling fan. So for me it was great to see all the pros and their beautiful bikes there. Yeah, the first day not really. It was just a short road circuit with a couple of laps, 4 laps or so. But the second day was quite nice because it was the lap of the TT course. So we raced in the morning, and then we were able to see the pros like going the same course, Remco, Evenepoel, climbing up there. It was super impressive, and yeah, I would have had no chance with my skates. Those guys they go crazy fast. But yeah, it was at least some racing and some steep uphills, so that was also fun. Um, and yeah, then the third option would have been Lima. So I've never been in Peru. Yeah, yeah, mm. Yeah, that's true. 15,000 US dollars. Like that's impressive. That's impressive. Yeah. That would have been more than at the Berlin Marathon actually. So it's nice that also from this side the sport seems to be picking up or would have been picking up. But yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah, yeah. Plus the South Americans, yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, yeah, it would have been nice to try that out. But anyways, so Berlin Half Marathon. Um, It's actually, I think it's the biggest skating half marathon in the world. There are usually around 1,500, 1,600 skaters at the start. Track record is held by Ewan Fernandez. 30 minutes and 11 seconds. Crazy fast, actually, for a half marathon, if you think about it. Berlin roads are always fast. Yeah, I know that it's always tricky because for the one part of the people who come from ice, it's straight after the ice season, so there's always a struggle. Yeah, especially for you and yeah, guys like Gary Heckman or others as well. Um, do you take a break and just race it out of your rest? Yeah, and it worked for you. It worked in the past pretty well. We yeah, yeah. That's not a long time. Yeah. That's not a long time. Yeah, yeah, mm. Yeah, definitely. I remember always the team meetings were quite funny because you said like, yeah, everything is fine, but just no pack sprint. So yeah. Also for the guys who haven't been on ice, it's always tricky. Like in it always depends like if the weather was good the weeks before or not. And I remember always for me either it was really good and I was on the podium or winning, or I was like really not in shape because I just couldn't skate enough or couldn't get enough quality sessions in. Ah, but cold. Yeah. Yeah, that brings me actually to my first little anecdote I want to talk about. And it was a year before we were together in the team. And I had two Colombian teammates with me in Berlin. And Nicolas Zamudio and Christian Granados. And you can imagine the Colombians are usually really bad with cold weather. And those guys, they were really like before the start, man, can I race with jacket? It's too cold, it's too cold. And I was like, no, guys, like put off the pants, put off the jackets. Like it doesn't work like this. You just have to push through it. Yeah, you have to push through it. But they were always struggling with that. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. It's quite special. Let's have a look at the past winners. I hope everybody can see this. We have some from a couple of years, or from most years, we have some nice graphics. So it starts with 1997, Sebastian Baumgartner, one of the guys who was actually commentating this year the Berlin Marathon, like the live stream he did. He did also win once. Yeah, then one of the things like I was completely unaware of was that our old teammate Kalen Dubin, the man himself, actually won the Berlin Half Marathon 3 times, and he got the most victories. Like how impressive is that? Because yeah, later in his career he was really specialized in sprints, 300 meters mainly, and yeah, for him to be the guy with the most victories at the Berlin Half Marathon, that's quite impressive. Yeah, please let us see that. Uh, hard to recognize him if you know how he looks now, but yeah, impressive. Nice one. Back then, yeah, it's true. Yeah, yeah, cool. Then also one thing I remember when I started to race the Berlin Half Marathon for the first time, or actually a little bit before, um, it kind of was still a little bit a German affair. Like if you look 2004, 2006, 2007, like always German guys winning it. And I think the peloton wasn't as international back then. Yeah, yeah. Ouch. Yeah, yeah. Niklas was a yeah national teammate of mine. Was also strong on the ice. Like did junior worlds and stuff a couple of times, junior World Cups. And yeah, I think back then he just used a smart moment in the last 3K or something, and escaped the pack. So that was I remember that was a pretty big thing back then, that a junior was winning such a big race. And yeah, teammate and long-term team manager, exactly. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, also a guy I recognized on the list in the year 2010, Severin Wittmer, won the Berlin Half-Marathon, and he was always back then already. He was a rain machine. Like when it rained, everybody was like looking at Severin, and I'm pretty sure it was raining that year again because 35 minutes is quite slow. So I think it was, if I remember correctly, he was even in the breakaway with Scott and with Jan Guerder, and I think he still beat them both. So yeah, impressive. Severin was really a rain guy, and I remember last year. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He was quite a while out, and then actually he came visit us or watch the racing in Geisingen. Yeah, he showed up and he was like, "Oh boys, I really miss racing, and work it was kind of hard." And he was like, I think he was not mentally in the how should I say it? He wasn't super happy, and then. I kind of like I felt for him, and I was like, yeah, maybe you can start skating a little bit again and just try to have fun. And like then a couple of months later, like we are all together in the break, or in the small pack in the Berlin Marathon in full on rain. And it kind of like I saw him there, and I just had to skate up to him and like give him a handshake. And I think you probably didn't see that, you probably didn't hear about it yet, but I was just so happy to see him there, and that he was doing fine and doing good, and back racing with us, racing with the best, because I remember he was in breakaways and stuff. He attacked the pack. Yeah. Yeah. Damn. Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. No, it's like shout out to him. It was impressive comeback, impressive effort, and yeah, hope he stays in the peloton for a couple more years. Um, Maybe we start with a little highlight clip now from last year. You were not there, but anyways, let's look at some footage from last year. Yeah. Nice, sunny, cold, good road. Exactly, yeah, that was the first race. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, he was like, I mean, I was in the race, and I have to say, like, he was really strong. Like, I couldn't follow his speed. Um, I think, to be honest, I probably did a couple of mistakes, like leading up to the event. I don't know if you know the feeling, but you get nervous. It's the first big race, and the days before at home it was like a lot of rain, and I couldn't really do the sessions I wanted, and probably I did hit the gym a little bit too hard, like 3-4 days before the race. And then I was like already warm during the warm up. I could already feel shit. My legs are still so heavy. Like yeah, yeah. It's full on from the start. Yeah, full on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, settle into the rhythm and the pace. Yeah, 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 it wasn't easy. Then and I remember Ewan was also going good, going quite strong, and suddenly he like hit a bad patch of road or something, crashed. Then he was gone, and it's like, oh fuck, now I have to chase Nolan alone. Yeah. Luckily, Ewan came back at some point. He was also going like had a good start into the season. Yeah. Yeah. It's true. Yeah. 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 Hats off to him. That was nice. Yeah, then maybe we talk a little bit about our own highlights from the Berlin Half Marathon over the years. And yeah, for me, I have to start with 2014 because yeah, that was the year where I won it for the first time. And here's the yeah, here's the old yeah, I have to say like really still gives me goosebumps. Like there was a nice victory, and I to yeah, and to beat Elton in a sprint like it's also tricky. And if you remember the finish, like I I raced three different like courses or finish lines of the Berlin Half Marathon over the years. Yes, exactly. Yeah, sharp right hand corner, and then it's only like 160, 170 meters to the finish line, and this was this one. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Then there were often guys like Gary Heckman. We know like when they are behind you and they have a 150 meters finish line, it's yeah, they can pass. Yeah, 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 yeah. Exactly. Who's faster is faster. Yeah. No, that's always your style of racing, and I think this it's also nah. Damn. True, true. Yeah, 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 yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And 2012, that was also our first race together, and so that was also quite a special moment and quite a nice time. Still remember like the first team meetings together, and everybody a little bit nervous. And I mean, obviously, we knew each other from racing with each other for many years, but it's still a difference to be in the same team and working for each other or working together. And yeah, it was I think the beginning of a really nice era, I would say. And to start off with a victory straight away, and I mean that's always super special. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. definitely, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. I remember, like, I think guys like Ferris Pruitt were super important for the whole vibe of the team. Obviously, also Scott Arledge um, was also definitely was a key to success. I would also say, because was always yeah, bringing the guys together and also the girls and always, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. There was always the right balance. It was not only about racing, but obviously the focus was on being successful and trying to win every time we are at the start line. Yeah, that was pretty good. I have another story to share, and it's basically about 2015 Berlin Half Marathon. So that was in the rain, and as you can see with the pictures, it ended pretty well for me. Yeah, because yeah, I won this one, so back to back. But yeah, I would have almost lost it because I don't know if you had that experience ever, but I put some like brand new rain wheels on, like just before the start. Step on the roads, like wet roads, obviously, and they were completely shit. Like I could not take one proper step. Oh my god! Like really, it was so horrible, and I had only like 10 minutes to go before the gun went off to the start, and I was lucky that one other guy like was sharing his set of rain wheels with me, so I had four shitty wheels and four okay. I was hoping okay wheels, and yeah, turned out those were enough, and it was also yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah, it is, but there was definitely a difference. I don't know what it is. Sometimes with those wheels, like they just don't work. Like I can't explain what it was or what happened there. I guess it was just a bad set, and yeah, but yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. Yeah, Pharaoh was just commenting and telling he said we should talk about Vegas, and it's I don't know when have we been to Vegas? Was that 2015 or was that later? It was, huh? Yeah. So it actually fits in a little bit. So 2015 was the first and the only time there was. Uh, yeah, true. There was a race before, and that was in Las Vegas. So it's not often that we get to race in the US, and it was super fun. You took a little break in your ice season, so you were actually able to come over, and yeah, perfect. Yeah, yeah, mm. Yeah. Also, yeah, yeah. True. Yeah, that was so impressive. I still remember your 10K. I think you beat Sven Kramer, right? or you got really close. Like, yeah, I think, I don't know if you beat him or it was, okay. Yeah, but I think for me that really opened my eyes and showed me also like how important the head is, because I mean in theory or practically like Vegas wasn't the perfect preparation. Like for sure we trained there, we raced there, but it was just a super good vibe with the team, like with Farah, with Erica, with Kathy, with Scotty, Leticia was there, the Meta guys were there. Like, wow, it was, yeah, like you said, just awesome vibe, awesome event, and yeah, then just a little bit later you go to Calgary and boom, like it was, yeah, yeah, that was nice. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Wow. That's true. That's true. The indoor also really made me struggle. Like indoor on 125s back then. Wow, that was wasn't easy. Wasn't easy. True. Yeah. No, I mean I think technically it was probably really good to do a bit of indoor. Okay, back to Berlin. I got a picture from 2017, I believe. Look at this. Yeah, I got. I could be, yeah. Uh huh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think you were just the perfect duo. Like, I basically it was clear from the start. It was actually often in Berlin was like this. Like first attack, boom, sticks. Like, it was for quite some years. It was like this, and I remember that year it was also the same. You guys just basically 500 meters after the start, like a motorbike, boom, going to 50 and see like everybody dropping off the back. Yeah, it was quite impressive to see. And yeah, long term teammate from us, and yeah, great guy. And obviously, like when he's in shape, like massive machine. Yeah. Oh yeah, 13. Yeah, I mean. That was actually, yeah, I call it my fuck up year, uh, because 13, so we were in the team. Ewan was also with us. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so we were on paper the strongest team, and I got in the breakaway. I don't know if I was only with Levra or if there was somebody else there. Yeah, so maybe I. Yeah, maybe. So two or three guy breakaway. I was in there, and obviously I was like happy that I get a chance, because I mean with you and with Ewan in the same race, in the same team, it's sometimes hard to really get a chance to win. And at that moment I was probably a little bit too happy and too motivated to push the breakaway and to make sure that we go to the finish line, and probably worked a bit too much. And yeah, what should I say? Lost the sprint against Julien Levra from France, and this was a big a big learning lesson for me. Um, yeah, definitely. But it also showed me like that really in a team like Powerslide, when you get a chance, you have to really make sure you use it. You have to take it. And if you are not sure that you can win out of the breakaway, then you sit up and make sure, or you don't lead and you make sure that the peloton catches us again. It's probably what I should have done back then, or don't lead as much because I was just I was just too excited and too happy that I'm suddenly in a good break and that we get away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. True. Yeah, it definitely was. Yeah, yeah. It happens. It happens. Uh-huh. Wow. Wow. Crazy. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that actually a similar thing happened to me also one time in Hamburg. Also at a half marathon there, and I was solo in front, and some police guy put me in the wrong street, and I think I went like at least a kilometer in the wrong direction. Then at some point I realized, fuck, I'm not on the course anymore. Turned around and just got connected to the group again. I still want it, but wow, that's yeah. I can understand your nightmares. Like that's really every skater's worst nightmare, I would say. Uh, yeah, nice. Yeah, I think I would still like to talk about 2018. Um, yeah, you were not there, but I was at the start line, and Nolan was at the start line as a world champion, marathon world champion. Gary Heckman was there, so lots of good guys, and it was like quite a surprise winner because that's yeah in the sprint, right? Yeah, so the guy celebrating is Sebastian Mirsch, and yeah, he's my club mate, and we train a lot together. Um, and yeah, he he took like the chance out of a like select group. I wouldn't call it breakaway. It was more like a select group, and just went like full gas, like with 5K to go or something. And it was like Gary was looking at Nolan, Nolan was looking at me, and I think those guys they didn't realize that I have a connection to Sevi, and I didn't feel great that day anyways. Like I felt like I wasn't comfortable. And so I was like, yeah, I'm not going to win the sprint today anyways, so I'm not chasing. And yeah, then somehow Sebi like really pulled it off, and yeah, his biggest win so far. And yeah, no, it's always, it's from time to time it's nice when like an outsider is like playing a little trick. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all about the right. It's all about the right moment, and I mean you need to be in a decent shape. Like you can't go 5K without being like super strong. And Sebi had a really good day, and actually pulled that one off. So yeah, this was also one of my highlights. I have to say from the last years. And then yeah, obviously the last year we showed it already, but Nolan, quite nice victory, because that's also the first time with the new finish line. So basically very similar to the big Berlin Marathon, just only like 150 meters after the Brandenburg Gate. So it's a little bit shorter. Yeah, it's right after the couples, and it makes a sprint super tricky, but it's also nice for the public. And there were always, you know it from September, always there are lots of people there, lots of people watching, and yeah, I think it was a good decision to change the finish line. It makes great pictures too, as we could see. And yeah, I got second, so still not a bad one. Um, Timothy Lubino, our first race together, was a great help, and yeah, and the girls were great. The girls had a one too. Powerslide girls, yeah, also, and Kathy, yeah, and they really yeah, dominated the sprint. So basically they could choose who wins. So that's always nice. Yeah, yeah. Now in Berlin again, also two of them on the podium. So yeah, also I mean we can look again a little bit on the winners from the past. Also in the women's side, like really impressive names. Cecilia being up there. Kathy, I think she got it 3 times. I don't have the recent years. Um, Always up there. Jana Gegner, obviously from Berlin. She had for a while always the victory in Berlin. Yeah, must have it must have been a rain race. Like she's also one of those like super specialists. I would say. Yeah, very impressive. Okay, then we're already talking for 45 minutes, and I don't know if you have more stuff to add, or if we should maybe call it a day for the first episode. I think so. Not a bad start, right? Yeah. 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 Yeah, exactly. Send us a direct message, or just ask in the live chat. Today we didn't. Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, I wanted to talk to you about this too, but I forgot in the beginning. Because my question for you would have been that you tell me about the one training session you did this week. It doesn't have to be like a super strong one. It can be also something funny that happened, or something where I don't know, something special. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Our teammate. Okay. And he was also on ice. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Uh, oh no. Ah, that sucks. Okay. Lucky. That's I think happens with him quite often, but still, Jason Suttle's great guy. I had already last year. We were together in China for the World Cup there in Harbin, and it was like really funny because first time for him. I think first time in Asia, or I don't know. Yeah, and so everything new, and like for him, like I think he had like a plate of shrimps or something in front of him, and he had like no idea how to peel them, how to eat it, but it was all everything super funny, and Timothy was also there, and they were rooming together. They were a great duo. There was real funny. Uh, this week I think I would. Yeah, I would choose a long skate. I did. I was probably also on Wednesday, I think, and it was special for me because I learned something from it again, and because the whole time now I was skating on old wheels because you know how it is like you don't race so you don't really get new wheels and but I did like yeah, exactly. So I really had a hard time to find any decent wheels. So in the end, I was just like, fuck it, and I need some new ones. Like the shape of the old ones, they were really flat because you know with the 125s they don't get like 110s. They don't get like this, but they are super flat. Yeah, probably. Yeah, because the whole time straight line and and I could feel that I didn't feel comfortable on them anymore. So new ones on and went for 90 minutes and it was like so much easier. Like I could skate much better technique, actually way better feeling on the edges again, and yeah, just like learning experience for me that even yeah yeah exactly. Yeah, it's true. Uh, material of choice for me, obviously 125s. And yeah, I think I would have been on the blue hubs with the CHR, so the cutouts. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's different. anyways, on the cobblestones, I think it's a bit nicer with the CHRs, and you still have some tight corners, and there are always some road works or something like this. So yeah, would have been my choice, and probably yours as well. Yeah. So cool. Then thanks for this first episode of Race Report. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, for everybody who was watching and hopefully enjoying our talks, we will be back next Sunday, same time. So 6 o'clock in the evening, Central European time. The race we will be talking about next week is Trois Pistes, Trophée de Trois Pistes, 3 tracks. Famous classic race in France, and we've done it together last year. So I think, yeah, definitely. I think we have a lot to talk about. So thanks a lot, Bart, and enjoy the rest. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening, and see you again next Sunday, 6 o'clock. Bye bye. All right, Instagram done. Facebook stream is still going. Couple of people watching. I'm sorry that you could not hear Bart Swings talking. Technically, we try to improve this for next week, but unfortunately this week for the first episode it was not possible. If you have any questions, then feel free to hit me up on Instagram or also on the YouTube comments. And yeah, I'll be trying to improve this stream for the coming weeks. Hope you enjoyed it anyways. Thanks for watching, and see you next week, Sunday, 6 o'clock Central European time.